Cameron, the start of a new season, how are you feeling going into this game at Orient?
Just like always, yeah, obviously really looking forward to it. It's been a good pre-season, worked really hard, so yeah, something to look forward to now tomorrow.
When you've been able to concentrate on what's going on the pitch, you do seem to have been enjoying playing your football, you guys.
Yeah, I thought obviously the last game we played, obviously against Leicester, I thought we played very well. Obviously I know it's a pre-season game, but yeah, obviously we've learnt a few things obviously off the gaffer coming in. And I thought we took that into the game, and yeah, we really enjoyed it. So yeah, it's something we're really looking forward to now. Obviously tomorrow.
You're playing for a manager that played your position. How's that working out for you? Has he been able to instill what he wants through you as captain?
Yeah, great. Obviously, I had conversations with the gaffer, and he's been great with me. Likewise with the boys, and yeah, it's just obviously getting playing the way he wants us to play. So. We've been working on that in pre-season. I felt like that come out in the last game. So, like I said, tomorrow is something that we are really looking forward to.
How different is the style?
Yeah, like you say, every manager's different. We have different ways of playing, and this gaffer's someone that does want to control the game with the ball, and yeah, that's something that I want to be a part of and something that I enjoy. So, yeah, something to look forward to.
It looks to be quite front foot with variation within it. After 2 years of kind of being in a battle in the Championship, is it a little bit of a release for you?
I wouldn't say release, no. I'd say I loved every minute playing in the Championship.
But being able to play with perhaps a little bit more front foot, offensive.
Yeah, but obviously, you know, that comes with obviously different decisions, and you know, different managers want to play different ways. So, which is understandable. And yeah, this manager's come in, and we do want to play on the front foot a little bit more, be aggressive, higher up the pitch, and again, that's something that I do enjoy, and I'm looking forward to hopefully playing it.
And as captain, how have you been able to sort of knit the rest of the team together, both with what's been going on off the field, but also with the new style of play and the new messages coming from the management?
Yeah, obviously the coaching staff help with that. Obviously, like I say, learn every day and learn different things. Lads have been great. We've just cracked on, and like I said, it's something that we really have enjoyed this pre-season. Like I said, we've enjoyed being on the ball a lot, and like you say, pressing high, and yeah, like you say, we want to hopefully continue that now into tomorrow. So it's something, again, I keep reiterating it, that we are really looking forward to.
Obviously, hardly any new faces through the door in the summer. You've got the same core of players. I suppose what you can't say is we need time to gel.
No, this is the thing. Like you said, we know obviously each other in the dressing room, and we're all good mates, which is obviously a big plus. So yeah, it's like I said, it's something that we are looking forward to. It might look a little bit different from the outside. People are saying, "Oh, we're not people in," but like you said, we are a close-knit group, and this was a team obviously that obviously frustrated last season because we obviously didn't end up where we wanted to end. But I feel like this season we can really work towards something special, and yeah, it's a case obviously learning every day and being better, and hopefully results will come.
And certain players will have different individual feelings about what's going on, but when you cross the white line, is that togetherness that we've seen at this club still with the guys in the dressing room? Is that still very much there?
Of course it is, yeah. It's my job, and obviously the older heads in the group and the coaching staff to make sure that's right. And I feel like we've shown that in pre-season, especially like I said last Saturday. I thought we were great. I know it's only pre-season, but it's a building step to what we want. But it's the same as training. Every day's been tough and competitive, which I've reiterated again in other interviews, that training has to be that way. And the gaffer does drive them standards with the coaching staff. So yeah, like I said, as soon as you step over that white line, we give 110%.
And in the dressing room, is there much talk about off the field matters?
I mean, there's always conversation in the dressing room, but obviously that's for the dressing room. But everybody here is focused to play for Oxford United, and that's the main focus. And our main focus is tomorrow. We start the season tomorrow. I know it's a cup game, but we want to go there and hopefully get the result. Because, like you say, it's an important game, and we want to get through to the next round.
Would you agree that the first round of the cup has taken on a greater significance because it's the first game of the season?
Like you said, yeah, it's something, again, we're obviously really looking forward to. Obviously said that many a time in this interview. But we've worked really hard this pre-season, and like I said, we've learnt different things, and it's a chance for us to show that we have learnt different things, and that we can play a certain way and it's something again we are really looking forward to.
And a chance for you to, what you've said about your enthusiasm for the season, but a chance for you to prove in the competitive game that what you feel in pre-season matches is real.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah. Obviously, like I said, it's something we've worked really hard on in pre-season. We've learnt on we've worked on different things. So yeah, we want to hopefully showcase that tomorrow in the game, and like I say, it's the first proper competitive game, so it's something that we are really buzzing about.
And just like that's what you're treating it as, competitive game.
Of course it is. Yeah, it's a cup game. You've known me for a long time now, so yeah, pre-season's gone now, and the real thing starts tomorrow.
Cam, it's a cup game against another League One team. Obviously, you want to go and win tomorrow and progress in the cup, but I guess it sets you up nicely for that level in the league as well.
Of course it does. Yeah, they're gonna, they're a good team. They did well last season, and yeah, I think, like you say, it will be a tough game tomorrow. It's our first proper competitive game, but we want to go there and win, and that's the main focus for tomorrow.
There's been a lot of opportunities, obviously, given what's happened off the pitch for a lot of players. A lot of players maybe on the fringes and the younger players. You look at Gats, who scored 3 and 4. How good is it to see those players sort of grabbing this opportunity by the scruff of the neck? Yeah,
and I have had close conversation with them as well, because like you say, it's a great opportunity for the younger ones to come through. Like you say, the stage is theirs, to be honest. I'm sure the gaffers come in and had conversations with them and saying that there will be opportunity for you. So yeah, I think obviously if it was me as a young kid now, I'd be looking at that going, this is my chance. So yeah, they're all great kids. They work very hard, and they do deserve the opportunity. So yeah, I wish them all the best, and hopefully they will grab that opportunity by the scruff of the neck and do really well.
Harrison Bradley's one that plays in your position, played alongside him a couple of times in pre-season. Is he one you've specifically taken a bit more of a mentoring role to, maybe?
Yeah, like you say, I've tried to help them all, to be honest, in their own ways. So it's never easy as a young kid, especially stepping into the first team environment. But yeah, Bradders is great. I see it in training. He's got great quality and he's got potential to hopefully have a great career. So yeah, Bradders knows if he obviously ever needs anything, we're always here to help him. Obviously, it's hold ahead. So yeah, I think he's been great pre-season. Trained really well. So yeah, massive season for him. Yeah.
How much more responsibility do you and the other senior figures, maybe Longy and Simon Eastwood, feel towards those younger players, given that they've got that opportunity, more of an opportunity, you might say, this season? Yeah,
massive. Like I said, I remember being that young kid, and it's always nice when you have got an older head to rely on in a way, if you ever need anything. And the young ones definitely know that. So yeah, like I said, if we can help them in any sort of way, we always will do.
Aaron Ramsey's been very calm and collected throughout everything this pre-season. How much has his manner, I guess, as a manager, as a coach, helped prepare you for tomorrow and for the season ahead?
Yeah, great. Again, the coaching staff likewise. Gunter and Hutt's been the exact same, and obviously the sports science guys and everybody. We've all pulled together, and I feel like it's been a great pre-season. Like I said, the gaffer has led obviously on the training field with what he wants, and I just feel like you said, it's an opportunity for us to hopefully play a certain way and get the right results.
Cheers, Cam.
Cam, just going back to Aaron Ramsey, you were involved with Liverpool's academy at an early age. He talks a lot when he came in about sort of elite habits and elite methods. Are there any particular things that you've seen from him in the first 4 or 5 weeks since he's been here?
There'd be loads of little things, to be honest, but he is right in obviously driving standards and stuff like that, because I feel like that does reiterate to the game. So yeah, we want to drive the standards every day. The gaffer, if it pulls me and says he wants something a certain way, we will always do it. So yeah, there's been loads of little bits, to be honest, but yeah, it's about us driving the standards and keeping the standards up every single day. I think the big one is you train your way to play, and I've always been like that, and I know the gaffer's like that. Training should be just as hard as the game, if not harder. So yeah, he's driven them standards, and I feel like it's definitely helped us in a certain way.
Because when a new manager comes in, I suppose regardless of no matter what they've done as a player in the game, they're judged as a manager and a coach when they walk into a dressing room, aren't they? But he seems to carry himself very well. with almost a bit of an aura about him.
Yeah, he's great. Like you said, his door's always open. You can have an open conversation with him. But yeah, he's on the training pitch is the exact same. You know, you can have conversation on the training pitch. He'll always lead by example when he's talking, and I just feel like that's great for us as older heads, and especially the younger ones coming through. This is a guy that has played at the top, so yeah, it's you should be trying to take in as much as information as possible off him, to be honest, because this is someone that has been at the pinnacle. I know he's obviously the manager now, but his door's open for the questions that probably do need to be asked.
You know, for you as captain, do you feel almost as each year goes by a little more responsibility on your shoulder? That kind of gap between yourself and the manager's getting smaller in terms of age, isn't it now?
Don't remind me.
Yeah, but
wow.
I guess what I mean with that is, you know, you have a more important role to play, I guess, as part of that senior leadership team alongside the manager.
Yeah, and I enjoy that. Like I said, I am getting older now, so I do have to take that responsibility. And again, I was that young kid once, so yeah, if I can help, obviously the younger lads or anybody in the dressing room, I'll always help them as much as possible. So yeah, no, I get what you're saying. I am a bit of older head now, and yeah, it's something that I do enjoy. Yeah.
Great stuff.
Cam Brannagan. I'm Matt Barlow from the Mail. I'm not a familiar face. I thought I should introduce myself.
Yeah, sorry.
Do you count your managers? Do you know how many you're up to?
No, I don't, to be honest, no. Don't have a clue, no. I honestly wouldn't know off the top of my head.
They seem to come and go quite quickly. Does it change much? What's it like when it happens?
I mean, obviously, like I said it before, managers have different ways of playing, and we have to take on board what they want. And I don't think it's, in the dressing room, it doesn't change loads because, we're obviously doing what the manager wants on the pitch. Little things will change, don't get me wrong, but our focus is when we step over that white line, we need to get the right result, and that'll never change.
When you talk about possession and controlling the ball, would you is that the biggest change with this new manager?
I'd say so. Like I said, we've had different managers, and different managers have different ways of playing, which I have enjoyed. Obviously under Gary when he was there, and then obviously Matt. But yeah, obviously with the gaffer coming in now, he has a certain way of playing, and we want to build in certain areas and build out from the back and play out from the back to get in good areas to hopefully hurt teams. And I felt like that did come out in pre-season, but we've got so much more that we can improve on and get better at. And it excites me, and it's something that I am looking forward to, and I know the coaching staff are, and I know the lads are as well.
Did you know Aaron? Did you ever play against him, or did you pass across?
I don't think I did, no. From what I think I was on the bench once at Arsenal maybe years ago, but I don't know if the gaffer was there then. You may be able to search that and have a little look, but yeah, I don't know, I can't really remember, but I don't think I did. I think this was probably obviously the first time I've met the gaffer when he come in, and again we had a conversation the first day, and yeah, he's been fantastic. Yeah.
What were his his opening impressions? What was his?
Great. Like I said, it was just general chit chat, just about summer holiday, stuff like that. Yeah, you had a lovely time with the family, and yeah, it was great. It was just a general chit chat, and that goes a long way. So yeah, it was, like I said, it was a good conversation, and yeah, it's something that I'm excited about, and all the lads are, and I know the coaching staff are.
Is he a vocal presence? He always seems sort of, as a player, to be quiet, composed.
Yeah, you could say he's a bit quiet, composed, but he'll always have the open conversation with you when you need it, and I think that is exactly what you need as a player. Obviously the gaffer speaks in meetings in certain areas, and again it's what we need as players, because obviously we're getting to play a certain way which he wants, and yeah, I feel like he's great at that. Yeah.
And were you, as a senior pro, impressed with the way he handled the setback, which came almost immediately with the embargo?
We've just cracked on. Nothing changes here. We've just, we've got the lads here training hard every day, and the gaffer's said the exact same. It's something we're looking forward to this season. I mean, forget everything else that's going on. Our focus is getting the right results on a Saturday or a Tuesday whenever we play, and that's our focus. And the gaffer's been the exact same.
And when you talk about standards and habits, is there a good example you're able to share with us?
For me, the big one's driving training every day. It might not sound crazy, or it might not sound, I don't know, but yeah, driving training every day. You train your elite habits in training every day. You know, it can be a case of winning 5-a-sides, getting that winning habit. You know, winning and losing is a habit. I've said it many a times before, and that starts in training. Training has to be at a level where it's top. So he drives that, we drive that, and that's something that we're going to stick by for the rest of the season.
Thank you. Good luck.
Cheers, mate.